So it's February 2022. We were pregnant with our third child. We get the diagnosis that he has hypoplastic left heart syndrome, which is known as HLHS. It's a very severe disease that cannot be fixed. There are 3 what they call palliation surgeries, and then eventually he would need a heart transplant. I would have echoes for Isaiah, every 4 weeks. And that's when every echo started getting worse and worse. They found this thing that started to make his lungs at risk. With bad lungs, you can't get a heart transplant.
Throughout the process, it continued to come up. You guys really ought to try out going to Michigan.
For a surgeon. I was, already 32 weeks pregnant. We meet with the surgeon, and she tells us it's the worst heart she's ever seen. We should probably just go back to Chicago and have hospice care. Our chances had already went from 80s to 30s to now 0.
Went back to our hotel room. We cried a lot. We prayed a lot. And we were kind of just bracing for our trip back to Chicago, to where we were going to be giving birth to a child who was going to suffocate in his mom's arms shortly after birth.
Sitting in that hotel room, May 25th, I think this is kind of when we just fully surrendered to Jesus. We were praying through it all, so I wrote, "They say there is no hope for your life. Never did I expect this. I am devastated, but the doctors are not who our hope should be in. Our only hope, only way is the Lord, as it always should have been. I am mourning you already, but I try not to go there, as there will only be rejoicing in heaven. Still praying for a miracle, but trying to accept that may not be God's plan." The following morning, I had an MRI with him, and they said if his lungs are not completely shot, there might be a very small chance that we could try. We'll just try the surgery. So we go back, we make a plan. We're gonna go back to Michigan, 37 weeks pregnant, C-section delivery. He needs surgery within less than an hour of birth. June 21st, 2022. Probably one of the scariest days of my life.
Isaiah was born. His stats were a little bit better than they were
His oxygen
hoping
saturations.
For. He went in, he had a hybrid surgery. It was a successful surgery.
I feel like sometimes when we reflect, it seems like he did well, but the next 3 weeks was in and out of death. He was dying one day, he was okay the other day. This is when you really learn that your kids are not your own, that God has a greater purpose, and even if you walk away without a baby, that he will use us. July 14th, he was extubated. His biopsy of his lungs showed horrible things. Everything showed horrible things. We make it to September. We have our first bypass surgery. And then he just started doing okay.
We eventually did have the second palliative surgery.
And that's kind of when we started to find the bridge.
Yeah.
I was on a phone call with a friend from college. She invited us to her small group.
We love it, and we start going to the bridge Randhurst. We find out that they're opening a new bridge North Shore. We're serving there basically every week now.
My mom always said, "Paige, God will restore. God will restore your family." And I think we just are really grateful for the bridge.
Isaiah's life is still really uncertain. He still has one more palliative surgery, but right now he's 20 months old. He's doing fantastic.
Truly thriving.
For anybody going through a trial, I would say you just gotta dive into your word, because that's where true peace resides.
He truly is the rock in all the hardships.
Isaiah is the best thing that's happened to us.
And
I wouldn't trade the experience for anything in the world.
And not because he's a miracle, not because he's just living.
It's because of how much closer our family is, how much closer Paige is, how much closer I am to the Lord. I'm Kevin.
I'm Paige.
And we are followers of Jesus Christ.